Hey Disney family, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to review one of my favorite Disney dolls. You can tell which one it is by the title. I love Snow White. It is just a masterpiece in and of its own. Disney did a phenomenal job for releasing it in the 30s. I mean, good gracious me. Can you imagine being a kid, going to the theaters, watching a full-length featured animated film, and the detail that was captured, and just being, I just can't imagine. I would have been amazed. My grandma was one of those kids. So I think just that wow factor was there for her that stuck with her whole life. Grandma would talk about Snow White quite a bit. And so that was kind of passed down from her to me. So the love of Snow White does come from my grandma. So the character, the movie, the dolls hold a special place in my heart. Thus, as you saw in the Saks Fifth Avenue Snow White, that doll is amazing, just amazing. And there's a few other limited edition Snow Whites. There's the 17-inch size ones, and then there's also the 11-inch, 12-inch size, classic doll size ones. I don't have any of the 11-inch, 12-inch ones, only because I missed out on them. I did not even really know about those things at that point in time. They've been out for quite a few years. But B, they take up space. The 17-inch, as you can see up here, the 17-inch boxes, yes, are big, but they're narrow. They're not as bulky as the acrylic cases are. So I don't have any of those ones like Snow White and the Hag. I think there's Snow White and the Prince, and then there was a D23 Snow White and the Prince. It was an exclusive years ago. I don't have those three at all. And I think there was even a designer Snow White that was one of the first runs of the Disney princesses a long time ago. I actually don't like that one. We won't say anything more about that one. But I do have most of the 17-inch ones. I do not have the very first one, which was actually the very first 17-inch limited edition doll, Snow White. I don't really care for that one either, plus her price is outrageous. And I don't have the D23 17-inch Snow White doll. I want to get that one. There's a couple on eBay. They're decently priced considering they're so tempting, but I keep reminding myself, we're going to Disney in 2 months, 3 months. We're going to Disney in 3 months. We're going to Disney in 3 months. Worry about her later. So yeah, I do have the rest of them though. And I do have the set. So I have the Evil Queen, Prince, and then Snow White and Rags and Saks Fifth Avenue Snow White. We will look at the Queen and the Prince on another video. Today we're just going to focus on Snow White and Rags. I actually do have two. I may have already said that now, I can't remember. But there's an interesting story behind that, which I'll tell that here real quickly. I wanted her badly, and I did not get her in stores. I missed her in stores. I think she was a run of 6,500, and I missed out. So I went on eBay, golly, it had been a few months back now, looking for a decent price one, because it seems like right after the doll's released and they sell out, they go way up here and then they kind of even keel. So I waited. I wanted to see, just where she would land. There's 6,500 of her, so I knew I would have an opportunity to get her at a really decent price. Granted, she did sell for $119.95 in stores, so I knew I wouldn't get her for that price. No one's that lucky anymore, it seems, but I wanted to keep it under $200. And I found a seller out in California who had one, and I think he had it at $199 or best offer, which I was like, whoa. Well, I wanted to keep it under $200. And at that point, that was the cheapest one I could find because it had the or best offer and free shipping. So I made an offer, and he kind of messed with me for a little while, which kind of made me angry because I'm like, okay, this isn't, yeah. He kept saying, well, I've got other people that are interested and they're willing to pay more, and I'm like, I'm not that far off from your asking price, so what? Yeah, anyways. Finally, a few days later, he came back and said, well, they weren't giving me reasonable offers, you have, so we'll go with your offer. And I was like, all right, whatever. Kind of taking the wind out of my sails at that point because he was just so wishy-washy with it. So I went ahead and bought it. I did get it for much cheaper than $199, so I am grateful for that. Waited a week, came from California to Ohio, and USPS ground parcel, 7+ days on average when it's got to go through California's postal service all the way to Ohio. That's a long week. I was so anxious to get her in the mail. I hadn't seen her in person, so I was really, really anxious to get her and be able to open up the box, and you know, there she is. So the day came. There was a box on my porch when I came home for lunch. Didn't rip it open, but I wanted to. Ripped it open. Got the doll out, completely blown away. I mean, as you guys all know, with all the 17-inch dolls, all of them, some people disagree, but all of them are ridiculously intricate in their details. Just down to the minute findings on their outfits, the embroidery, the crystals that are used. Amazing. Just literally amazing. I was blown away. So I was like, oh, and I want to know what number out of 6,500 I got. So I opened her up, and I didn't debox the doll. I will never debox my dolls. I'll never buy a deboxed doll. You know, so I took off the front cover, took off the plastic cover, pulled out her certificate, flipped it over because it was upside down, and went like this. Oh. I didn't know what to think. It had all the normal wording on it, and then at the bottom where it has a little dot line out of, you know, however many, this of course being 6,500, it had no number printed. And my heart sank. I was like, oh my gosh, I got a fake. Because they are out there, apparently. I've not seen one, at least I hope I haven't. If I've got one, then I don't know it, yikes. I was flabbergasted. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to do. So I immediately posted a picture of it on the limited edition Disney doll forum on Facebook. Instantly, people were like, "Oh, it's a store display. You shouldn't have even bought that. It's worthless. Don't even, you know, yeah, I'm just constant store display. And a couple people said, oh, maybe it was just a goof up, you know, because store displays don't come with COAs. Other people said, oh, yes, they do. And it was so much back and forth. I thought, you know, skip this. Not very many people were being helpful on there. I even had people telling me I wasn't a serious collector because I bought a store display. Well, you know what? If the guy had listed it as a store display, I probably wouldn't have bought it. That was frustrating. I did not realize there were politics within the limited edition Disney dolls. There are. So I called a couple of Disney stores, called Shop Disney, talked about it with them. Sure enough, the old way that Disney did it, they would make 250 to 350 store displays worldwide. These dolls would be distributed to certain stores, and they would be on display up until the point when the doll was actually released. Once the doll was released, that evening, after the doll was sold out, they would raffle these dolls off to the cast members, and they then would have a chance to take one of these dolls home. Funny thing is they're actually more limited than the actual run of the dolls, since there were only between 250 and 350 of these made, dependent upon the doll, of course, because not every store gets a display. They don't do that way anymore. Now they get, you know, 7, 8, 10, 12, 20 dolls per store. They use one of those dolls as the display, and it's the last one sold. I found that out with Mulan. I was talking with one of the cast members at the Disney store, and she said, yep, that's how we do it now. She goes, if we want one, it has to be our day off, and we have to come in early and get in line just like everybody else, or have a family member do it for us. I was like, oh, that's harsh. It'd be hard to want to collect these and work, because you would always want that day off. So I ended up with a store display. Was I bummed at first? Yes, but as I got down to it, I'm like, she's still a part of the run though. They make these ones first, and then they start the limited numbering, according to what I've been told by multiple different Disney reps now. So while she may not have the number embossed on her back, and she might not have a number on her COA, she is a part of the run. She's just not numbered. So that made me feel a little bit better. I didn't think much of it. I thought it'd be fine, but it started to kind of eat at me, like, you know, well, are you really a serious collector? You know, why would you keep one of these? And I just thought, you know what, some of those people are just being petty. I love the doll. It doesn't bother me. But then a guy made a comment through a private message and said, hey, I've got one. It is numbered. Not that I'm trying to diss the one you have, but I'll sell it to you for 130 bucks. And I was like, oh, say what? 130? That's pretty much retail. And I said, well, how much do you want for shipping? He goes, no, that includes shipping. I said, holy smokes, done. I'll take her. I don't mind having two of something that I love. So that's exactly what happened. I now have two. So here is one. I'll put her down. And here is the other. And after thorough investigation, zero difference in the doll. I mean, there's minute difference is the hair is a little bit different on one, and one's got a pin in a different part of the fabric, and on the one, the lace at the bottom, which we'll look at when we review the doll, you know, is a little bit longer than the other one. But other than that, the exact same. I noticed that when I don't anymore, had two Mulans. There were minute differences between them, but all in that, they were the same doll. So I was happy. I was content. I got a numbered one. I have my original, which I will love, you know, forever and ever. Amen. She will never leave my house. I don't care that she's not numbered, and I am content. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the doll. I'll only uncover or take the cover off of one of them. I'll just leave them kind of in the background so you can kind of see her. They are the same. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at her. She's gorgeous. One of my hands down favorite dolls, aside from that one right there. Ariel. And her mate this week is Jasmine. I keep Ariel out for a while because I like her. She was my Grail doll, and I was able to get her, and she's amazing. And I just kind of switch out her, I don't know what you would call her, shelf buddy for a while there. So she was up there with, I think, Moana for a while. Now it's Jasmine. Next week it'll be somebody else. I don't have Eric yet. I need to get Prince Eric. That'll be a fun time because he's expensive. But anyhow, like I said, aside from Ariel, Snow White is my favorite. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at her, and that way you guys can see the details along with everybody else, and see if maybe this is one you might want to add to your collection if you don't already have her. All right, let's take a look. All right, so here are these beauties. I wasn't kidding. I do have two. This is the numbered one, and this is the one that is not. But we're gonna focus, of course, on this one. Not because this one's not important, but you'll see there's literally no difference. This one I'll just show you what number I got. I can't do that on that one because she didn't have a number. So anyhow, we'll first, of course, take a look at the box like we always do. So just like all the other 17-inch limited edition dolls, 6+ is listed. The Disney Store logo, which I love this one. It's the hologram look. Some of the older ones, like you can see up there, maybe. Yeah. Whoa, Jasmine, terrible reflection. But you can see there they've got the older style Disney Store logo. So I love the new one so much more. But you can kind of see there, the light kind of catches it. It's got this really neat little pattern in the box, and it's got this gold foil floral design, made to look like an arching window in a castle. I love what they do with these Disney boxes now. I think they do such neat work with them. You know, then of course you can see kind of the plastic with the floral display on it as well. And you can see there, limited edition Snow White, one of 6,500. And Mickey is kind of in the way, so we'll just have to move around him. Again, another like cathedral style window on the side, so you can see the side. I love that they do the boxes this way. That way, if you didn't want to take them out, they will always be protected, dust free. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Kind of hard to see this one. See if I can block some of the light out, maybe. Not really. But if you want to pause it there, you can. It does talk about the doll and what the Disney artist did. And then another language is French. And then, of course, certificate of authenticity and display stand included. It's got the apple there. I love the fact that this is just always, it's on the Saks Fifth Avenue one. It's on this one. I just think it's so cool. Normal goodies, and then, of course, the price, $119.95 and $149.95 in Canada. Mine does have a warped box, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and get the plastic cover off so we don't have the glare. Okay, so I lied. We're not going to take the plastic cover off yet. I forgot I wanted to show this to you. So the plastic cover also says limited edition Snow White, same apple pattern. And then it's got the same border edging. And then there's that floral design that was mostly covered up by the box itself. It goes all the way around. It's on both sides. You can see it down there. And it's also on the top. You can see there it says Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I love that there's a window on top that we can see down to. So let's go ahead now and take it off. That way there is no glare. All right, so let's go ahead and do a little detailed review of this doll. First things first, we will start with her certificate. So I did end up with number 275 of 6,500. And there, you can pause out there if you want to read that certificate. It's just like all the other ones. And now we can go ahead and take a look at the doll itself. So let's start with her face. Like all Disney dolls, she does have rooted, I guess you should say all limited edition Disney princesses. She does have rooted eyelashes. You can kind of see that there. Beautiful paint job, big brown eyes with highlights. I love that they do so much attention to detail. Lips red as blood, just like the movie. She does have a very curly hairdo, which is kind of crunchy. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff to keep it that way. And then a midnight blue bow in her hair. And just like every other Snow White, she's got her big poofy sleeves there. You can see the embroidery around the cuffs and around her collar. She does have a red cape that she has draped over her shoulders. It does have kind of a felt pattern to it on the back side of it, and then of course the shiny side that you can see this way. Her corset section does have some beautiful embroidery. Looks like some gold leaves, blue and red flowers, and that's on both sides of it. And it is laced up. And then her apron has some embroidered pockets, which I think are really cute. Some patchwork, a little bit of lace detail. And then the dress itself is this beautiful blue, dark blue satin, same blue as her bow with a lace trim. And then there is an overcoat portion of it that is kind of like a burlap material almost. It does have some holes in there, but it does have that same beautiful embroidery that is around her waist. And that is on both sides there that you can see. So, and then of course there's some holes on this side too. She is wearing cute little, see if we can get in there, clogs. They have a little flower design on them, you can see there. And of course there's her display stand. She does have tissue paper in the dress. Of course they do that with all their dolls to make it a little more poofy. Looks like there's a netting, or no, that's the lace. So just a couple of layers to that dress. But yeah, so that is the Snow White in rags, which I am just so grateful to have her. This doll is beautiful. I don't mind that one has a COA that's numbered and one doesn't. I think that she's just amazing. So there is my review on Snow White in rags. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now I do have something kind of fun I want to show you guys. It kind of, yeah, it's along the same lines. I got an email that I had some Hot Topic bucks that I needed to use up, so I was like, okay, I can do that. And they were having a huge Funko sale, and I thought, well, let's take a look and see what they got. So my box actually came in the mail today. That is Saturday. Oh golly, is it September 1st already? Holy smokes. And this is what I got. A Hot Topic exclusive Diamond Collection Snow White. And I just thought she was so pretty. She was on sale. I think they had her marked down to $9.99, and then I had $5 worth of eBay or Hot Topic bucks, so I ended up only paying $4.99 for her. And then of course I think like $7 shipping, so she ended up being about the price of a normal Pop plus tax. But I just thought she was so cool. That's what she would have looked like normal, but the Hot Topic exclusive was the Diamond Edition, so she is covered in glitter. So I just thought she was pretty neat. And yeah, so that is my Funko Snow White with the limited edition dolls. So anyhow, thanks guys for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. We do post a video every Saturday, so make sure to hit that notification bell so that you know when it comes out. We do all things Disney, so whether it's like this where we do a review of a limited edition doll, or we review some Funko Pops, Disney store hauls. We do have a Disney trip coming up in 3 months. I'll be taking you guys along for that. We'll do some reviews of the different parks and the things that go on there. It'll be a lot of fun, I promise. And then of course just anything else that I run across that I think would be fun to do a video on. So as always, thanks guys, and I hope everyone has a really great weekend. See you later.